Hello, I'm Caden Love.
And I'm Seema Love, his wife.
And we are Love and Lore, combining both dark fantasy and light fantasy and everything in between.
And today we have a really fun video. I've never had so much fun preparing for a video. We are fan casting our favorite Brandon Sanderson books.
And there are plenty of things out there because we've been looking around, and I think that everybody at this point that's read Brandon Sanderson wants a movie. And, you know, these are not set in stone, of course. Like, these are just who we think would be perfect. And ideally, you know, I think it's great to have a lot of undiscovered actors so you don't have to tap into things. But these are some people that we think will fit these roles well.
And we will start with my favorite, Warbreaker. And I did all of the fan casting for this one. And for Ciri and Vivenna, of course, I chose my favorite actress of all time, Elle Fanning. I think she'll be perfect for Ciri, and Dakota Fanning for her older sister Vivenna, which makes it more fun because they're actually sisters in real life, Dakota and Elle Fanning. And I also think that Dakota has this like wiser older sister vibe, while Elle Fanning has this kind of wilder, more innocent vibe to her. So I think they'll be perfect. And for Susebron, we have Justin H. Min. I've only seen him in Umbrella Academy, and I think he looks great because I think in the book he's described as having pale skin and dark hair, so I think he'll be perfect.
Yeah, and like until you point that out, I didn't recognize that's where he's from, but I think he's a good pick. So she's read this one really recently. It's been a while since I've read it, so it's cool to kind of see where she pieces those characters.
And for Basher, we have Javier Bardem, because I think he has this perfect, like, he can look menacing, but at the same time he can look kind of warm, so I think that is perfect for him. And for Denth, we have Ian Glenn, and I don't want to say too much about the characters don't want any spoilers in this video, but I just think he will be perfect. Then for Lightsong and Blushweaver, the gods, I decided to cast Chris Pratt and Gugum Bathara. I think they both have exactly the vibe they need to be those characters.
Okay, and now give me this. If you were to cast the voice of Nightblood, the sword, is there anyone that you'd pick?
Honestly, I didn't think about it too much. What about you?
I saw a fan cast that someone did that said Taika Waititi would be pretty good. I think it'd be good. You need kind of a fun comedic voice like that. Something more witty, like David Tennant would be really great as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is my fan casting for Warbreaker.
Okay, now we're going to go to the Stormlight Archive, which she hasn't finished yet. She started, but we'll wait until she's a little more ready.
Too hard for me.
Yes, but I'm really passionate about this series a lot more than Warbreaker, and these books are longer, there's more of them, so you really get to know those characters. So I want to start off with Kaladin, one of my favorite characters in all of fantasy fiction, and one of my favorite actors. He's been in The Green Knight, which is one of my favorite films. I feel like it's pretty underappreciated. Slumdog Millionaire, recently Monkey Man. That is Dev Patel.
I love him.
I think Dev Patel would be really great. I think he's an awesome actor, and I just feel like his personality that we've seen in movies would fit well with that hard soldier that learns to soften up a little bit later. So, going next, I think a lot of people have seen this actor as Pennywise from It. We know that he can seem a little crazy sometimes, and he has bigger eyes, which, if I'm right, I remember Szeth has big eyes. So, Bill Skarsgård, I think, would be the assassin in white, Szeth's son Villano. I feel like he would be a great fit for that role.
Caden did all of the casting for Stormlight Archive, but I actually overrode one of his decisions. He cast Rose Leslie for Shallan, but when I put her next to the actress that we chose for Yasna, they just looked the same age and like they had like the same authority level to them. And I feel like Shallan really needed to contrast to Yasna as like a younger and the less authoritative character. So I decided to cast Sadie Sink for Shallan.
And we've seen her in recent things, such as Stranger Things. She's been really good, and I feel like she's quite young, but I feel like she will fit that role if we were to say in some future casting of it. Okay, next I chose Elodie Young as Yasna. I think that she fits very well, looks kind of how I imagined her, and we have been told that the Alethi people are of Asian descent, so I tried to stick to that for most of my casting for the Colon family. So going next, we're going to one of my favorite actors. He's usually a little more timid and reserved, but I can think that he can become that super big charismatic character. That is going to be Steven Yeun as Adolin. I feel like he fits that really well, and I think that seeing him in The Walking Dead and Invincible as a voice actor, he's going to be great. So, outside of sticking with these, I felt like Josh Brolin looked very well as how I imagined Dalinar, but piecing together what Sanderson has given as descriptions, I think Ken Watanabe would fit that old and experienced warrior general that is Dalinar. Honestly, probably my favorite character in the Stormlight Archive. And there are so many characters that we can cast in this because of how big those books are, but I feel like to give an honorable mention before we get too far, I want to touch on one of the best Bridge 4 members, that is the Lopin. And going with that, I think Kumail Nanjiani would be great. He is a comedic character, but he can fit the serious notes when needed. I think he'd do fantastically. And then this next one is one that I've seen her mostly in comedies, but I think that she would be really great for Spren, for Syl, and that is Alison Brie as Syl.
For Mistborn, both of us did the casting, and honestly it was the hardest one because I feel like that's the one that we've heard most of actually getting a movie. By the way, before making this video, we've researched what are the latest news about any of Brandon Sanderson's books getting movies, and the news are that the Mistborn has started but then stalled, and they're kind of on a pause right now. So, unfortunately, no news.
And honestly, with all the drama of adaptations recently, some being unfaithfully adapted, I have faith in Sanderson that he's going to do this well. Yeah. So, I'd much rather get it when it is good rather than just something that would change everything that I love about the book.
Yeah, I agree. I would rather wait and just make sure that he gets everything right and like he wants. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, it was the hardest one to cast, especially Vin. We really struggled with Vin because she's such a complicated character, and we ended up choosing two actresses, and one of them is Laura McDonnell and the other one is Kylie Spaney. Oh my gosh, am I saying their names right? Hopefully. I think they both really fit the role, but at the same time, how Vin, she kind of has two personalities. One is more trusting and one is more, closed up and traumatized. Mm-hmm. And I feel like these two actresses, one has one vibe and the other one has the other vibe. So vote in the comments. I honestly can't choose between these two because they both look great for Vin.
And honestly, I'm glad she pointed these out. I've always, a couple of years have passed, but I always thought Maisie Williams, because she was awesome as Arya in Game of Thrones, I always thought that she would be a great pick for Vin. But we're definitely going to need someone a little bit younger, just because years have passed. But these two they're pretty good choices.
And for Elend, I cast Timothée Chalamet because, it would be a pity not to cast him as anyone. He's so hot in the world of movies and especially fantasy adaptations right now. So I feel like he would be perfect for Elend.
Yeah, he can fit that kind of bookworm, but then I don't know, seeing him as Paul in Dune, I've got faith in him adapting that. So this one people might take in an odd direction. Think Homelander, Anthony Starr. I think that he'd be great as Kelsier. We've seen him as a horrible villain, but I think that if you have a right touch of his good craziness, we can see him as the group leader, Kelsier, that, goes and helps Vin along the way, but can be a good guy as well. And we didn't pick everyone in the crew. There are so many out there, but we have to give mention to Sazed. And I think that you need someone that kind of looks as how we'd imagine him, the descriptions we've been told. Again, this is someone from Community. He's funny, but I feel like he can fit it well. And that is Danny Pudi as Sazed.
And for Spook, I really wanted to cast someone who really looked ethnically different from all the other characters that we've cast so far, because I think he's described as being from another nation and having an accent. So I chose Amir Wilson, and I think he has the youthful look that Spook needs in the beginning. And for Shannon Alariel, another character that I was so excited to cast, I decided to cast Kiernan Shipka because she can really play that mean girl, and I feel like this role would be just perfect for her.
Then the last one that we have to cast is, of course, in the Final Empire, you need the Lord Ruler. That is going to be Riz Ahmed. I feel like he fits that look really well, and I think that he could do it justice.
I guess this is it.
Yep. So this is our cast, and I'm sure there are many other great roles that we could cast. If you like this, let us know in the comments if you want to see some other books that we could fan cast. And I want to know, what are your picks? Let us know in the comments, maybe for some of these characters or characters we might have missed, like Ham and Breeze from Mistborn.
Yeah, so yeah, let us know if you like these kind of videos, because I would love to make more of these videos. I'm having so much fun. And yeah, hope you had as much fun watching, and thank you for watching.